A gripping heist at 30,000 feet, an audacious criminal mastermind, and a vanishing act that continues to baffle investigators decades later. Yes, you heard that right. He was the first person to ever hijack a plane in American history. He jumped from a commercial plane clutching $1.2 million and disappeared into thin air, leaving the world questioning, is he dead or alive? But who exactly was this mysterious hijacker, and where did he disappear to with a fortune in tow? On a fateful Wednesday evening, November 24, 1971, on the eve of Thanksgiving, a mysterious man named Dan Cooper embarked on a journey that would forever mark him as the first person in American history to hijack a plane. With just $20 in hand, he strolled into the airport and purchased a flight ticket for a domestic flight from Portland, Oregon to Seattle, Washington with the airline company Northwest Airlines. In 1971, flying domestically was a different ballgame. No IDs were required to buy a ticket or board a plane. It was as simple as hopping on a bus. Dan Cooper, likely his nickname, was in his mid-40s, clad in a black suit, long coat, white shirt, brown shoes, and a black tie. As the clock neared 3 p.m., the plane took off. Cooper, carrying a suitcase and a small paper bag, calmly took his seat at the back of the plane. Lighting a cigarette, he ordered his favorite drink, bourbon, setting the stage for what would become a legendary act of audacity. Cooper's next move was calculated. He handed a small note to the closest stewardess, requesting her presence. Initially dismissed as flirtation, the note held a chilling revelation. "I have a bomb here and would like you to sit by me." Cooper's intent was clear. He wanted the stewardess closer, revealing what appeared to be a bomb inside his suitcase. Cooper's demands were as audacious as his hijack. First, he sought $200,000 in a small backpack by 5 p.m. Second, he requested a fuel truck to refuel the plane upon landing. Finally, he demanded 4 parachutes. Cooper's plan began to unravel. The significant ransom would be worth almost $1.25 million at that time. But Cooper wasn't just after a clean getaway. He aimed to outsmart the authorities. The stewardess delivered Cooper's demands to the captain, who, in turn, informed the airline company. Cooper, seemingly unfazed, continued smoking and sipping his drink. The plane, now above Seattle Airport, circled for almost 3 hours while authorities deliberated Cooper's demands. The passengers remained unaware, told only of a minor issue at the airport causing a delay in landing. Finally, as evening descended, Cooper secured his demands. He insisted on landing at a remote part of the airport and also keeping the windows closed to prevent any potential FBI assassination attempt. He accounted for every detail, down to keeping the plane staff while releasing the passengers. The saga continued as Cooper directed the pilot to take off for Mexico, flying at 10,000 feet with landing gear down. As the plane headed towards its mysterious destination, 2 unmarked forces, jets, were dispatched to pursue it. In the rainy evening, Cooper anticipated the pursuit but pressed on with his plan. As night fell, he instructed the stewardesses to join the pilot in the cockpit, leaving him alone. Then, the unexpected. An alert signaled that the plane's rear door had been opened. The Boeing 727 had a stairway door that could be opened mid-flight, and Cooper had taken advantage. With pressure dropping and the stairway door ajar, it was apparent. Cooper had vanished. The final chapter of Cooper's story remains a mystery. Jumping over a forest between Seattle and Reno, Nevada, Cooper left behind only a bomb suitcase and 2 parachutes. What happened next has fueled debates for nearly 50 years. One thing is certain: Dan Cooper was never seen or heard from again. Not even the pursuing jets could catch a glimpse of him as he disappeared into the night. Upon landing, the FBI meticulously searched the plane, hoping to find any clue leading them to the elusive Cooper. Strangely, the only trace left behind was Cooper's black tie. In our modern era, a simple DNA test could have unraveled the mystery, but back then, such technology didn't exist. The tie was kept aside, patiently waiting for its moment in the spotlight years later. The FBI launched an extensive investigation, starting with a search in the forest where they believe Cooper might have landed. Despite their efforts, no sign of him, dead or alive, was found. Descriptions from 2 stewardesses who spent hours with Cooper helped create a sketch. He stood at about 6.1 feet, weighing 80 kilograms, with brown eyes, a hoarse voice, and slurred speech, though his choice of words revealed intelligence. Some speculated Cooper might have had an accomplice, But the pilot's assurance that he personally chose the flight path dismissed this theory. Before handing over the money, the FBI cleverly pre-recorded the serial numbers. A decade later in 1980, a young boy playing by a river stumbled upon 3 bundles of moldy money totaling around $5,800, all $20 bills. The FBI confirmed it matched Cooper's ransom money. The discovery, however, added a new layer of mystery. Found outside Cooper's drop zone named Tina Bar, it baffled investigators. Some believed Cooper buried it, while others thought the river carried the bundles. This find in 1980, 9 years after the hijacking in 1971, sparked debates about the fate of the elusive hijacker. Now, let's rewind to the aftermath of the hijacking in 1971. In the following year, 1972, a flood of proof and suspects emerged, clouding the investigation with misleading evidence. The widespread publicity attracted countless messages to the FBI, claiming to be D.B Cooper or having information about him. Initially, a staggering 800 suspects emerged, but over time, the list dwindled to 24 main individuals. Cooper was initially charged with hijacking, but under U.S. law, this charge drops due to the statute of limitations after 5 years. However, a grand jury convened after 5 years and charged him with blackmail, a charge not bound by time limitations. Astonishingly, Cooper managed to evade arrest for decades, making this case the only unsolved hijacking in FBI history. Now, let's explore a few main suspects, although none were conclusively proven to be the real D.B Cooper. Richard Floyd McCoy surfaced as the first suspect. In April 1972, just 4 months after Cooper's hijacking, McCoy hijacked a plane using a similar modus operandi, even choosing the same Boeing 727 model. However, McCoy's error lay in leaving behind written notes and fingerprints, leading to his swift arrest in just 2 days.
Richard Floyd McCoy was charged with air piracy and held without bond in the Salt Lake County Jail.
While similarities existed, McCoy's actions revealed imitation rather than mastery. The second suspect, Dwayne Weber, confessed to being D.B Cooper before his death in 1995. His wife, Jo, corroborated his confession, recalling instances of him talking in his sleep about leaving evidence in the plane. His wife recalled his last words, and they discovered writings about D.B Cooper in his books. Despite these hints, no concrete evidence tied him to the crime. However, the FBI ruled him out due to significant differences between his actions and Cooper's, including an alibi of celebrating Thanksgiving with his family in Utah. Kenneth Christensen, the third suspect, was accused by his brother, Lyle Christensen, who believed Kenneth was D.B Cooper. Lyle's assertions rested on Kenneth's familiarity with Northwest Airlines, his smoking habit, and a likeness in appearance. However, the FBI dismissed Kenneth based on height differences and discrepancies in parachute usage. The fourth and last suspect, Robert Rackstraw, a helicopter pilot with Vietnam War experience, was alive at the time of investigation. Rackstraw, who got fired from the Army shortly before the hijacking, made provocative statements that remained unproven. The FBI officially closed his file and the investigation in 2016. While these suspects came close, the elusive identity of D.B Cooper continues to elude resolution, marking one of the most enduring mysteries in FBI history. Now let's explore a theory put forward by a high-ranking FBI officer named Larry Carr. He suggested that D.B Cooper might not have survived the jump.
They said that the case was solved and they were going to close the case. And I'm like, well, what do you mean it's solved? And so our media coordinator, Fred Goot, he got in on this thing, and they had built this whole story and sent me a press release.
Initially, the FBI believed Cooper was a skilled paratrooper, but as they examined the parachute, it became evident he had chosen the worst type for bad weather conditions. The theory proposes that Cooper likely lost control of the parachute and fell into a river. This aligns with the discovery of money bundles far from the forest, possibly carried by the river. The absence of Cooper's trace despite intensive searches led to the conclusion that he may have drowned. The river, flowing into the Pacific Ocean, could have taken Cooper's body and belongings, leaving no evidence. Now remember Cooper's tie that was left on the plane. Well, the tie contained rare chemicals from Boeing factories, hinting he might have been a Boeing worker. However, this didn't lead to conclusive evidence. In 2016, the FBI officially lost hope and closed the case. And so, the enigma of D.B Cooper remains an unsolved puzzle, leaving us to ponder the mysterious disappearance that captivated the world. Now, do you think Larry Carr's theory holds water, suggesting Cooper didn't survive the jump? Or do you have your own theories about what happened to the elusive hijacker? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more.